Waiting for our connection here. Good morning. I'm your friend Kizzy Satan Gray, and this is day 17 of our self care journey. This is a 21-day self care challenge, and it's not too late to just jump right in. Each day, we do one small task for our overall enrichment mind, body, spirit. And so, we'll be reviewing what our challenge is for today. Now, our task says to have a phone free evening. Woo! I know that is a tall order to ask for, but I encourage you to at least begin to implement today. So, even if you can't do a whole night, maybe you can start with an hour or two. And I encourage you to do at least one night a week if you can, was a cell phone free evening. And I encourage you to sit down with your family, eat at the dinner table, and have a cell phone free evening. Good morning. Thank you for joining this morning. Thank you, Mama. And I know this is a hard task and a hard pill to swallow, but it's doable. It's doable. So let me tell you the benefits. I'm going to tell you the science behind it on various levels. And we'll talk about the benefits and how you can implement and things that you can do. Okay. So good morning to you all. Thanks for being here this morning. So we're talking about the benefits of having a cell phone free evening. Okay. So one, you can disconnect for one evening to connect with your real life, because real life is happening around you all the time, and we miss out on it because we're glued to our devices. So whether it's our cell phone or tablet or computer screens or laptops, we're glued to other devices. And we want to have some time to unplug, disconnect, and spend time with our family or our real lives, engage the people we love. And so I encourage you to engage your real life, give yourself time to think deeply and have moments of solitude. You can be less distracted because you'll be more productive, and that productivity comes out of being less distracted from your cell phones. Good morning. Good to see you today. Happy Friday Eve. Yay. It's Friday Eve. That is exciting. One more day of the work week. And so what that does, when you have that solitude and time to think, it gives you a state of mindfulness, and that mindfulness makes you more aware of your thoughts and your emotions. A lot of times we don't even tap fully into what we're experiencing or what we're dealing with, and therefore it prolongs and lingers on in our lives because we don't face it. We escape our emotions with going into our cell phone, with doom scrolling. They call it doom scrolling on and on, and therefore we don't face the things that we need to address in our lives, internally, emotionally, or just thinking deeply on thoughts, thinking deeply for a project. If you're a researcher, if you have any level of work that you need to produce in the workplace, in the community, or in whatever part of what other ways you serve, we don't get to those deeper levels of thinking in our thought process because we are um, heavily distracted. So we don't produce as quality work because we're not mindful. So, and also it having a phone free evening will cause you to be more creative. So it'll boost or heighten your creativity because you can tap into your potential when you have detached and disconnected from your phone and devices. So devices in this case, we're talking about a cell phone. It could be a tablet, laptop, it could be a computer, whatever your device, or TV even. And statistics show that the average person spends 7 hours a day in their phone. 7. And if you compare that, Warren Buffett, multi-billionaire, he spends 6 hours reading. And you think, who has time to read? Who has all that time to read? But we do, because we spend it in we spend it in scrolling and doom scrolling. And so it's just that endless dopamine that we're getting, and oftentimes we are left feeling empty and just emotionally drained from being on our devices. So I'm encouraging you to have a night. If you feel like one night is way too much, you can start with an hour or two. And this will set a good precedence for even your family structure if you want to have one meal a day, or a week together. Because, okay, raise your hand if you're having 3 nights a week of family dinner time with phone free, or 3, 2, or 1 nights a week with phone free evenings at the dinner table. I encourage you to start doing it. So some of you are doing it already. This is going to be hard. I know this is a hard one. And it's just one evening, okay? So, and if we start doing one evening a week, that will be, really beneficial to us. And so, and I know it's hard. I am the queen of maximizing my cell phone. Why? It's so beneficial in so many ways. I can, set doctor's appointments, business transactions, emails, invoices. I feel like I can run my whole entire world from my cell phone alone, not to mention laptop and all that, because I do research, banking, marketing, online courses, GPS, you manage accounts and entertainment. You can watch movies on there. I can edit videos and create flyers and graphic design, all from my cell phone. So trust me, it is pretty hard. And I do know it's a tough situation. I know it's a tall order, but it can be done. And I encourage you to start at least one night, and you will watch how your productivity will soar, or your engagement with your family and loved ones. Because oftentimes we see places. Have you been to a restaurant and you've seen everyone sitting at the table in their phone and not engaging each other, families, friends? And it's really a sad case that we are more connected in our devices, but we are more disconnected from people. And there's actually a study that shows that the younger generation, not my generation, but the younger generation, struggle with social interactions. Okay, they have hard time reading emotions, engaging with people, carrying on conversations, because they're always heads down in their device. And so they don't engage people in real life. And so because of that, they feel socially awkward when they get in situations where they actually have to carry on conversations. And that really is sad to think about, because they are our future leaders. That's the next generation that's coming to take over, right? And to lead us into new technological advancements and so forth and so on. So we have to prepare them now by giving them opportunities to not have their phone, and by us setting the example. My kids know I'm in my phone just as much as they are, probably. But when I get home, it's always been my free time to be able to entertain myself. And we can use it if we have healthy boundaries, of course, but not at the expense of failing to fully engage in our families' lives, wondering, okay, how was your day? What went on? How did that meeting go? How did your presentation end up? Or did you win the account? All those type of things, and just being able to talk and have full discussion and engage the lives of people around us. We think that by not being on, that we are going to miss out. And there really is a new psychological term in psychology, put it this way. There's a new syndrome that hasn't been around even 20 years ago, and that's FOMO, fear of missing out. That really is a real psychological terminology, and it's real. So it's not just for children, but it's also for adults. More and more people are experiencing different elements of impact from being on their phones and social media and so forth. So not just social media, but being on the phone, but especially social media, because they get into a pattern of comparison. It was like, well, I don't have this and I wish I did that. And they're doing that with their relationship and they're going here and they're traveling here on vacation. And so even with children and adults, they're saying, like, children are saying, well, they feel social isolation. They wish they had this level of friends or level of comments or level of likes. And I'm talking about for real. In psychologists and psychiatrists' office, on the table or on the bed rather, and having therapy sessions around this. And so it really is a real deal because children are comparing themselves and saying, hey, I didn't have a sweet 16 party like that, or I didn't get a prom dress like that. And they're feeling some type of way because that whole connection with comparison and really what other people are doing really isn't any of our business per se. Yes, we can be invited into their world by following their lifestyle, and if it is harmful to you, then you definitely need to detach. If your emotions aren't regulated to the point where you're feeling some type of way about seeing someone else's progress or success or joy, then we really have an internal issue that we need to work on. And again, I can't emphasize enough, it's not just children or youth, young adults, but it really is adults that are going in. And if you go look, go Google, do your research, go to Uncle Google and find out, or even on YouTube, there's countless scientific studies about people who are having FOMO, fear of missing out. They're not doing a certain thing in their life, but other people are. And so they have anxiety and stress behind it, emotional breakdown because of what's not happening in their life, where we can be so happy and content without knowing what they're doing. So if it's causing you that kind of angst, then you need to detach so that you can heal and improve your inward being so that you can then have a healthy interaction with social media. But it really truly truly is a thing, so I encourage you to look it up because some people are gauging their life on social media by likes and hearts and comments and shares, and they're emotionally unstable. And what they fail to realize is that social media has no value on who you are as an individual. Okay, it has no weight. It's not a measuring stick for who you are. Because why? People get likes for doing dumb stuff, for doing crazy things that we should never even engage in, but they're getting a million likes for doing it, or something that is provocative, or something that is crazy pranks, or things that are harmful to other people. So we can't base our value on engagement or likes and follows and shares because really it's like monopoly money. It really doesn't have any value on in the real world now. So, and I say that, but I am a content creator, so I do get value from the products and the services that I offer through social media. So I do get it if you're a business owner and you use social media for marketing, if you have programs and online courses and things that you run, or if you get paid from social media like I do. So I get paid from my social media streams that I engage in and from marketing and all the things that I do. So that's a different thing. But even that doesn't measure the quality of a person that I am. It just is a gauge for my connectivity with my audience and my following. So I know how to market better and things like that. But anyway, so aside from that, that is one thing. I don't want to go heavy on that, but the average American spends about 7 hours a day on their device. So I encourage you to unplug. We think we don't have time to do the things, but we do have time. If we put the phone down, we can get projects done. We can get things done around the house. We can get things done in our lives. We can achieve goals and reach success if we put our phones down and give ourselves a break to detach from that. The average American spends about or checks their phone about every 6 minutes. even if they don't have notifications or pings or dings on their phone. Every 6 minutes. And it's been proven that even in the workplace, seeing their phone, even not touching it or holding it or handling it, if they see their phone, it's a distraction for them in their productivity because they're wondering, like, what's going on. But I promise you, whatever you think you're missing out on will be there tomorrow or be there later on today. You can go back to your timeline and scroll and see it's there. You can go back and catch a replay, but you cannot catch the replay in your own life. So engage your loved ones, be present in the moment. And so there are other things too that impact us with our phones. And so when I went to the doctor a few years back, he had me do neck exercises. So he said, let your chin touch your chest and put your head all the way back. Tap your ear to your shoulder if you can, and to this side. And he said he will forever be in business because we keep the doctors in business because of our constant head down, tilted down into our phones, that there's so much strain and tension on the neck and shoulders that people are having to be medicated and stressful because just that in our physical bodies, we're holding our phones down and it's causing a strain in our neck and tension in our shoulders. And so he just said, relax, put your shoulders back down, and just did different activities that we do. He said on a very minimal level, at least hold your phone up eye level. So that reduces the tension in your neck from holding it down all the time. So you catch yourself, hold your phone up. And if you can have a device, I don't know if you can see, I have a little device here that I put my cell phone on, or stand or something. So if you can be hands-free, all the better. So if you're in the kitchen or in the bedroom or something and you have a device and you can put it on the stand, definitely do that, because that reduces the radioactive waves that we feel, or we don't feel, but we get into our bodies. So we are impacted by touching and holding the phone, as well as the blue light, in the disruption of sleep levels, rest levels, and things like that. And even there are countless studies, and you can see that when you go out and do your research. I encourage you to research this stuff. Really, it's so fascinating. When you go out and you see that if you disconnect from your phone an hour before bed, you will sleep better. And the impact that it has on the eyes. Also, when I went to, so 5 years ago, I went back into the workplace and started working outside of the home. I used to be a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And so now I work outside the home. And in doing so, within the first month of my working outside the home, I saw a significant change in my eyesight. I didn't know why. So I went to the doctor. Now, all of a sudden, I need glasses. And he said that people have lived their whole lives not needing to wear glasses, but suddenly, from the advent of technology and just the advancement with phones, tablets, devices, blue laptops, we're impacted by the blue light. The blue light impacts our lives substantially. So if you do wear glasses, you want to get blue light blocking glasses that will neutralize the blue lights coming from the screen. We can't see it. Of course, at night, you can turn your screen down, and so it will lessen the impact. Also, have another light on in the room. If you're going to be watching or looking at your phone or device at night, have another light on in the room, because it lessens the impact of the blue light on your eyes. But anyway, so it impacts your eyes. So after 1 month of working, I mean, I never needed glasses my whole life, but I could see a significant difference in the pressure on my eyes from sitting in front of a laptop or computer all day for 8 hours. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I noticed it. I went to the doctor because I was impacted by 8 hours a day on my laptop. And so I know it's impacting our kids and things like that. So not just visually, but strain and tension in the body and so forth and so on. So those are impacts that you want to stay away from. So the negative things is the neck strain, the eye strain, the tension, the radioactive waves, the addiction, the overall addiction, period. And then it also causes people to have a sedentary life. And you don't want that. You want to be up and moving and not just watching people live their lives, but go and live yours. So we watch people garden and clean up their house, and we watch everything online. We're just watching people clean their house. We're watching people cut their lawn. We're watching people do their gardening and things like that. And I'm not saying we can't benefit from that, but always watching and not engaging in our own lives, we're missing out. We're missing out on our real life engagement. And so I encourage you to spend some time without your device. So another thing too, with sleeping and interrupting the sleep levels, I just thought about it. Science shows that you should not have your device near you when you sleep, because remember, our cell phones, even while we're sleeping, are always trying to get a signal. They're trying to catch a connection from the Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And if you can turn your Wi-Fi off, that would be wonderful. Some people set their Wi-Fi on a timer. I have a girlfriend who's really great at that. Her Wi-Fi is on a timer, so it goes off at a certain time at night, because you don't want that 5G running through your body and all that stuff all the time. Also, put your phone on airplane mode. It doesn't stop everything. I used to think that it did do stop everything, but it doesn't stop everything. You still get notifications even on Wi-Fi. Or if you can turn the device completely off. I know you may not be able to do it if you have children or someone working outside the home or whatever while you're sleeping in nighttime hours. You want to be able to be reachable. But if you can turn it off, or if you can put it in another room, they recommend 8-foot distance between you and the phone. So across the room, maybe at the foot of your bed, or across the room, or in another room. And sometimes I put it in my bathroom, but I'm guilty of having it in my bed. But definitely don't have it on your body, laying on your body, laying on your chest. Women, we have a proclivity to put it in our bra if we're shopping in a store or on the go, and don't put it in your body, because there's countless research about breast cancer and places where people hold their cell phone in their bra all the time and all of that. So any event, so those are some of the impacts of that on our bodies. But I encourage you to, there's an app that you can put on your phone. It's called Screen Time. And I've had it on my phone for years. I don't know if it's on my new phone since I've gotten it, but basically it shows you in real time how much time you spend on each thing on your phone, how many times you pick up your phone. It even shows you that. And it'll give you a wake-up call, because it'll show you how many hours you spend in entertainment, whether you're on Netflix or what have you, or YouTube, how many hours you spent in Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever you're doing, or in your emails even. It tracks everything. And that can give you an eye opener of where you are with how much time you spend on your device. And, sometimes it may not be as 100% accurate if you're thinking about your screen time versus just having your phone on and having a podcast and setting it down and doing work in your house. So you know that you spent X amount of time in a podcast, but it was productive hours because you were doing something else while you were doing it. So you're multitasking, right? So you're getting that content in, but it really truly is an eye opener for knowing how much time you're spending in these devices, and it really can consume you. So the overall gist is spend time with your family, engage those that you love, live your real life. You can catch up later and scroll on your timeline or catch a replay from a show or event or whatever. You're not missing out. That fear of missing out syndrome really is real, but know that you can't replay your life with your children. You can't replay the hours you missed. You can't replay the time that you wish you could have, should have had, would have had, when you're on your phone in the bed laying next to your spouse, or on the phone on the couch and your children are in the room. Like, really get engaged in your real life so that we can spend this time with our family. So yes, you have your phone and you have it on your phone and iPad. Yes, that's a good app to have, because it really does show you where you are and how much you engage and interact with your social media, just your phone, period. And whatever, if it's emails, if it's what, it'll show you like a graph of how much time you've spent. And I think that's beneficial. I think it's really helpful. So I encourage you to have this night. And if you can't have a full night, then certainly have an hour or two. But beginning to implement 1 hour or 1 hour or one night a week will be so beneficial to your life, your family life, and just the richness of the life you live, the quality of life you live, just by disconnecting and unplugging. Because one of the things they say, it reduces stress, you have better sleep, it's so many things, you're more productive, all of that. You can get your work done when you think you didn't have time to do your work, but you were actually having lots of time because you were engaged in social media for hours in the day. But I do understand it's in time to unwind, because I've used it for that many times when I come home in the evening. I'm guilty of it. So I'm not saying that I am not guilty of it. I certainly am. And it is a mental escape after having worked all day and worked so hard. But if it's at the expense of family engagement and involvement in their interaction, we want to limit and put some parameters and boundaries on it so that it does not be all consuming in our lives, right? So even though you may be a content creator like me, or use your phone for everything, run your business. So even if I wasn't a content creator, I can use my phone for everything, to run my whole entire world from my phone. Even if I didn't have a tablet, laptop, or a computer, I can run my entire world from my cell phone. So I get it, the dependency that we get on our devices, because it's so easy to do, because it really does. I mean, it's our camera, it's everything in one, right? So it is multi purposed, and so we can use it for a lot of things. But if it causes you stress and pressure and strain, and in your familial life or social life, and it's not about the social accolades, and if it's causing you emotional instability, then definitely remove it or push it back or reduce your time on it. Okay, so today's challenge isn't easy, but I recommend that you do it, because you'll begin to see a difference in your life and your productivity and what you're able to accomplish, and that is a beautiful thing. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I want to know how your night went. And if you were able to go 1 or 2 hours, or the evening when you get home from work, without your phone. And so interrupting. And so that'll be a good, healthy habit to start with your family, to make sure that they can come to the dinner table without their phone, or even just eating dinner together again. I know we don't do it often because everybody's on different schedules and the house is moving. I have a large household. We have 7 people in our family. I have 5 kids. And so everyone's on a different schedule, where they're coming in, they're getting off work, they're going to the gym, they're going to basketball practice. And I get it, we're not always together in the same space. But when we are, use that time to connect and really get that heart connection with your loved ones. And even if you're home alone and you're single, connect with yourself. Again, we escape our emotions and being present, um, because we are into our phone or on our device. So we don't get to feel our feelings or be mindful or tap into our own thoughts and be aware of our emotions. And we don't get to have that time of solace or creativity or productivity that we could have if we unplug. So I encourage you, on whatever level you can, begin to implement. Okay, so I'm your cheerleader. I'm cheering you on. I'm excited about you being here and going through this challenge. And we just have a couple of days left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days left on this challenge. And you guys have been here tracking with me. Woohoo! I'm so excited about that. And this night might be one of the roughest nights of the challenge. But I encourage you, it is so, so beneficial. You get solitude, you can engage your real life, and because there's no replays on your real life. So get in, plug in with your family or with yourself, or into your journal, or whatever your craft or whatever you do something off screen, off your devices, and your life will be better for it. Blessings to you. See you on tomorrow. Bye-bye now. Yeah, we can do this. Thanks, Juanita. Yes, we can do this. Thank you, Mommy. for saying this good information. And I appreciate you all. Blessings.